All right, guys. Welcome to the Cobra Concept. As you've seen from past episodes, I started the Cobra Concept Vision podcast to bring fire into people's lives that allows them to take risks that they've never been able to. So I want to talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about and bring on guests who have had interesting and intriguing journeys that perhaps would be able to help others. So today we got Erik, who I've known for such a long time, with a super intriguing story. So to start, I guess, I don't know, tell me about the darkest night of your life.
Oh, the darkest night
I like
of my
to
life.
start dark.
Wow, you started strong.
Starts way too strong.
I like to
Okay.
Are
we ready for this?
Bro,
I'm always
dark
ready for
night,
the dark,
bro.
yeah.
Batman, bro.
So as everyone knows, my name's Erik. I'm a surveyor. Also started my own company, Pauly Matish. And actually the reason why I started is because of the dark times. So I guess probably the darkest time in my life was when I was living in my car. But I wasn't just living in my car. I was working full time, just trying to save as much as I could. But it was tough because I had to play two different roles. So it was like basically two different characters in my life. First character, wake up, I'm homeless. I'm living in my car. So, it's not that great. But, I worked with it. I tried my best.
Yeah.
So I'd wake up probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I had a UFIT gym membership. So I'd go over to the UFIT.
Nice.
Work out for about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how much time I had. Probably did that for a solid year and a half twice.
Yeah. So you were out of your car for a year and a half?
Yeah. It was just another more tough times, but staying in the car was more difficult because it kind of puts your mentality down. I only let people that I was close with know what was going on.
Yeah.
So your family knew you were living in your car, or did you kind of keep it private?
I kept it even from them. I don't really, because I don't ask for handouts. I have a real hard time with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like asking for help is almost like basically saying I can't do it.
So how did you get out of that situation? What was the first step to get out of your car?
Oh, I was making pretty decent money. I was making okay money, but I was saving all of it. So I wasn't paying for any rent. So no rent, no utilities, no excess expenditures. So I kind of was funneling money into my savings, like just basically saving up for if I wanted to get a apartment or whatever. But same thing,
That's actually interesting because you never hear of a homeless person with money.
Well, he was saving.
He was saving, but he was
smart.
living a very unconventional lifestyle.
For him, he was able to handle it. I can see that. It's all about perspective. If you're in that situation, the only way you can bear it is either put yourself down or think more rationally. I think it's just thinking about it in a good perspective.
100% it's perspective. To him, he may have not been homeless, but he knew that's how people would perceive it, so he kept it to himself.
Well, that was the thing. People had no idea. Because I was dressing well, smelled nice, took showers, So everyone was just like,
The normal stuff.
no idea, and I'm also feeding myself, so not looking like necrotic and breaking down or anything like that. I was being fit, and I was actually more fit than I ever was, actually. I was like a solid 175, 180.
How'd you get your protein?
So another thing that I was saying, so I got, dark times and was real low on money. I was spending money on outside foods and stuff like that, and it was expensive.
Yeah.
Like I said, I saved it from the rent. But
Back then, it was, he had that dollar menu.
So, like I told you, the buddy I met, Lucas, who was a security guard, well, he brought his friends over to the parking lot. So we were just having parties in the parking lot. So it just turned, like I was saying, it kind of turned into oh, well, this is Erik's porch, and this is the light area. Over here in the corner, this is smoke area. Over, basically, and down the street, 3 miles, we got a shower. Yeah. And there's a lovely lady receptionist who, greets you every day you go in there. It's awesome.
Yeah. Sounds like that beach bum life, though.
And it was, yeah. And the thing is, everyone used to joke, yeah, Erik's not really in his car. And, everyone turned and be no, this dude's in his car. Erik, pull up the trunk. And I would pop the trunk, and everything would be organized, but everyone would be like, wait, what? I don't understand. If you're living in your car, stuff would be everywhere. I'm like, no, that's not how. No. If I'm gonna live, like a very minimalistic lifestyle, I'm gonna try and keep it at least organized.
People perceive that, most people in that situation would be reckless, would act the part, right? It's like the kid in high school who acts the part, like how everybody acts towards him.
Did
Yeah.
you have moments where you felt like you were going a little bit reckless?
I was getting very narcissistic because I was getting into the mindset of people were just building me up so much, putting me on this such a high pedestal that I was kind of not realizing dude, you gotta wake up, these are just compliments and stuff. This isn't real. This is just you have to still do other things. I was kind of distracted by it.
I want to talk about how he did a million other things at the same time. At some point, are you still a stand-up comedian, or was that in the past?
No, I did open mic nights at Funky Buddha in Boca.
Nice.
And now it's not Funky Buddha. Now it used to be Robot Brewing Company, and then Robot Brewing Company broke down, and now they're just not even doing anything. But every, I think it was Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Open mic nights?
I've been there once.
You saw him?
No,
No, unfortunately
no.
not. But so I was living in my car, and I still wanted to do rap and music. I loved poetics and just the use of expression and passion into a beat or instrumental or anything, or even a cappella, just straight air. And so it was actually my other escape. Every Wednesday, I went to go see my open mic night friends, and most of them were comedians. So unfortunately, it was an open mic for comedians, really. It wasn't really meant for artists. Mm-hmm. Not really any artists went over there, which is why I liked it, because I was just okay, I'm the only one here. It'd be great, exposure. And it was. I had a lot of frustrations, not just living in my car, but a lot of other things, that most people go through, which is, finances, health and fitness, relationships. It's tough to keep your dreams going and also still be able to socialize properly with the people that that care about you.
Yeah. I can feel your frustration just thinking back.
Reliving it.
Yeah. But most people don't face those challenges, and they can't even handle their day to day. They can't even they should be thankful because there's people that are struggling and they have a much more positive mindset.
Oh yeah, there's people waking up complaining about getting the wrong coffee at Starbucks.
Crazy, man. And you have so much opportunity you don't have a hole you need to crawl out of. You have just a straight road ahead of you to achieve whatever it is you want. And people just don't take that. They just complain, bitch and moan and complain. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. Well, I got a guy right here who fucking was living out of his car, stayed positive, worked his way up, and here he is now on my podcast. That's what I want, Because there's so many fucking goofballs out there that think they can just bitch, moan, and complain and be a fucking ant.
Yeah, well, they just think that eventually someone's just going to come by and be charitable to them, and it's tough because we're all visually caught on what a great lifestyle is. Well, we all have our own ideal of it. But I was just trying to stay positive. But also, I just had really great friends. I was just building a lot more friendships, and it was
amazing.
It was fresh air, because I was dealing with most people that were just it was just a lot of wasted time. People, yeah. I like to see real people, even if you're you're damaged or you have problems or whatever you're having. When people are real, it's easier to associate with that. For me, because
that's an escape, because you're
because that's the thing. That's what I thought. There is definitely someone out there having a way worse day than I am. Oh my God, I'm living in my car. Whoop-de-doo. But I still have my face, my body. I still have my mind. There's people that don't have
shoes.
Yeah, what I'm saying? So it's just there's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot more struggles in the world, and I just thought I don't need to complain. I just need to just bunker down. But I was just frustrated with so many people that it was weird that I just got this fresh group of all these people that were very similar to me. Mm-hmm. That we were just trying to have a good time, be genuine, and laugh until we cried, pretty much.
I mean, that's the best. Isn't that
Yeah.
what life's about? Just genuine people.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't find that, by the way. The fact that you found that is pretty rare. Because I hear of so many people that are struggling to find these meaningful relationships with people who are willing to be vulnerable and open up. And you found that. And that's pretty incredible.
Well, I think this is where me and Erik relate. I think we both, in our own ways, have hit our own rock bottoms. And I think for someone to have a rock bottom, it gives you an understanding, a different perspective. I think so many people, you know, if they haven't had a rock bottom and a real hardship, they don't have that perspective. You have to face challenges, and only through pain you grow.
Quickly, like
So
I
you
was like,
moved up from your car into working this job.
yeah. Well, no, I was working in my car while I was moving up in the company.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so like I started in the company and like I was pretty much in my car at the same time,
Okay.
you know.
And then getting out. When did you get out?
Well, I got out a couple times because like I was doing really good on the Tinder, Bumble, and
Okay.
yeah.
hear you.
There was a lot of swiping going on,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah,
for me, my position, you know, I was doing pretty. Even though I was in my
Nice.
car,
Survival, bro.
you know, I had a good system for how I did things, and I'm very lucky.
How was dating out of your car?
Oh my God, what's
Yo,
crazy is
let's
I
go back to
got
my pad.
no, but that's what's so weird is I actually got more attention from women and more opportunities for relationship when I was in my car.
Did they know? And they knew you?
No,
you were
they
okay.
didn't. They
Okay.
well, some of them I did admit to it after a while because you know they were kind of curious, like why can't I come to your place? I'm like, well,
I got a wife.
I got a situation. Like yeah, I used to make jokes, you know, sometimes, but eventually some of them got serious, and I was like, oh, I'm in my car. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm like,
Didn't you try to why don't you try to split rent with someone or something? Be like, yo.
well, that was the thing.
Or you
like,
wanted to save up.
no one could fit. So I got to a point where I have, you know, everyone has the person that they
You were
are sociology
you were-
like attracted to, like me, they're just drawn to those type of people.
So
but then
were
like
you
the people,
genuinely looking for someone, or were you just like?
I just want to have fun.
Survival.
If I'm being honest.
Survival.
I'm just having fun. No, survival. It wasn't survival. It was more of like, because I was getting so much confidence going
It's
out
like
with my
'cause you're in
friends.
your
What's
car-
wrong with you? Survival.
If I was in my, if
He
I was
doesn't
in
need a
my
woman
car-
to survive.
If I was in my car, I'm gonna find a bed.
Oh, you mean I need a
Oh, okay.
woman to
So he
live
thought,
in
no,
her
okay, so
place.
he thought,
I'm gonna pay with whatever means I got.
well, actually, I mean,
Okay, I see your point now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, no, okay. So yeah, there was
You
moments
don't think
where,
like me. I'm street smart.
Well, no, well, the
That's
thing is,
scary.
well, the thing is, I didn't want to stay at their house. So like most of the time I was in the
I feel
situation, I
that.
got to their place.
You got a cat?
You know, like no, it's just they just you know. But
You got a cat.
listen,
I'm
man,
out, bro.
I got a lot of talents. I got a lot of abilities. I'm literally a polymath. I'm like Da Vinci. I'm the dude who can literally do everything.
And I'm a Greek god.
Like no, I don't want perfection. I'm reaching to a perfection, but a perfection that's I don't want it to ever end. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
enjoy about
okay.
learning and knowledge. And
I see.
So what's so bad about sleeping in a girl's house?
well, I just didn't. Same thing. I didn't want handouts. I wasn't wanting to.
But I
hear
mean,
that.
before they found out, if they were like, "Hey, come over to my place,"
Well, no, I did. Yeah, and I would. And then the thing
okay.
is, they wouldn't let me leave. So that's always the funny part too. Is that they just were like, "Oh, like you're not gonna go." I'm like thinking in my head now. Obviously,
Bed,
choices:
car.
bed, woman, car. But I had the gym though, so it was kind of like,
Oh yeah, you had to.
you know, I had the
gym.
yeah, and like
The
that was
gym.
see that's what I'm saying. So like, Shiri's
I
right. You don't
understand.
really need another person to fulfill yourself. That other person, no matter what is in the universe, no one is ever going to fulfill the other party that's empty.
and that was
And-
gonna be my question. Do you live a simplistic lifestyle even today?
He wasn't a narcissist then.
I try not to say that I'm a narcissist, but I'm saying the characteristics of certain when you start to build up to a point. But
Yeah. I would have definitely gone narcissistic.
no, I just how would you put it? I just kind of like I just didn't need to like attach my things to people that also had their own issues, and like some of them had so many opportunities. So it was like for me, in my head, I didn't know if they would be compatible in some cases. Because, like, for me, you know, I found that it was, I didn't think anyone would really understand me. Like, so it was tough to, like, find anyone on my same level in a relationship, because when you don't you don't understand someone why they're doing something because they've never been through any of those things, it's very difficult to communicate.
Oh yeah.
Because it's kind of like, I mean, how would you put it? You know, it's like me and my girlfriend now, like Wendy. So she's from a very well-off family. Like, her family, you know, like, they have standard issues and stuff like that. But, like, you know, I've been a part of their family. They don't really have any alcohol or drug problems. Most of the time, their issue is just being better. Like, how do you create a goal? How do you create the wealth? How do you create happiness for your family? How do you, you know, like, they're all about, you know, basically just, it's crazy. Like, they had, like, a really good family. And, like, the most negative things is, like, her mom's OCD. She likes things clean, which I'm like, is that really that bad? I'm like,
Right.
you know.
Is Wendy going to be watching this?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Hi, Wendy.
What's up, Wendy?
Hey, Goosebump.
Guys.
Yeah, she's my, I call her Goosebump because when we first was dating, at certain points, I used to give her goosebumps. So I was like, oh, you're my
Oh,
Goosebump.
that's really
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, one of those.
So you didn't feel like you didn't feel like you and Wendy were compatible at first because she.
Oh, I knew we weren't.
Okay.
I knew we were complete opposites. I dated every type of woman that was opposite of her, in every facet. You know, I dated women with alcohol or drug problems. In most cases, most majority of women I dated had those problems.
I just
that
have
got
to
serious
ask:
with.
did you have drugs or alcohol problems?
No, I went through a little bit of a alcoholism issue probably when I was like 19, 20, where I was like, because I was working 2 jobs and I was going to school full time. Like, I was like out of my mind. I was taking like 12 to 14 credits, like, plus I was working 2 jobs. So I was working like 40, 50-hour weeks.
I'm just curious because you're saying I'm dating this girl Wendy, and I feel like she's a complete opposite of me because she has a good family, but I'm not really hearing that you had really that difficult of a life with drugs, alcohol, or even a bad family. Sounds like you have a good family too.
Well, she had a great family. Unfortunately, I don't really come from a very good family.
Okay.
Not that like it's bad. It's more of like we have a lot more issues. And
Okay.
my parents personally, like my mom and dad, like, I mean, I don't know if it should be for another podcast. That's a huge story.
Are they in your life?
My father isn't anymore. He passed away when I was young. And my mom, unfortunately, isn't really in my life right now. Like, I had to kind of dissect from her because she became very, just leechy. Like, she just didn't care about my well-being and my future. And it became apparent multiple times, you know, of why I became homeless in the first place. When I trusted someone else to be in a situation and then, like, things fall apart. And that was, you know, that's my mom. You know, you expect your mom to, like, have your back for certain things, but, you know, we all have our issues. And, you know, whether I know what they are or not, it was the fact that there's no solution for them.
Wendy's
Her upbringing was
her
not.
upbringing is consistent and stable.
Yeah, it was. She got to travel. Her parents took her all around the world. She got to travel. She got tons of culture. She was fed. She was roofed. Okay, occasionally her parents judged her on how she was living her life or how she'd be doing something, other things. Okay, that's every parent.
Right.
Yeah.
I loved when my mom used to do that. She used to do that to me all the time. The only reason I became good at anything is because of my mom. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents can make us or break us, but we can always
And
take the positive.
You could see that because you appreciate that because of all the hardships that you've had to deal with.
Yeah, I don't ever
Most people think that's hardship when your parents judge you or because they want the best for you.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm like, dude, I'll take that over anything.
Dude.
I was like, I would love
real.
your parents to badge me how I'm doing all the wrong things, because then I'm just going to make a list and then I'm going to fix all of it.
Tell us about what you're doing right now and how you're now helping other people with your story.
So I'm getting my geomatics degree, so I'll be certified eventually. And I did a lot of research on trying to create wealth, you know, because I just don't have anywhere to start. I was like, you know, I got a little advice from here and there from people, but, like, you know, everyone has their little secret game plan. And everyone really unloads all their real, like, you know, how they do it. So I just did a lot of research, and I just kind of went back in time. I went in the DeLorean and I picked out books from like the 90s and 2000s, because a lot of those, that's where people made their mecca money, when technology exploded in the 2000s. And you're talking about YouTubers now, and you don't, like, the amount of, money you can make off something that, back in the day, it's extraordinary what we can do now. And for me, going through so much, I've been moving up so quickly, I just decided, okay, I'm going to start this LLC. Started this company, and just like basically it's a life advising company where it's supposed to be affordable and it's supposed to be personalized. Affordability, basically, it starts at $25 a month. I mean, honestly, I know people that spend more on their Netflix account. So I kind of just I tried to go as low ball as possible to drive people to understand, like, listen, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing pretty decent, considering where I came from. My wealth is done very, very well for itself. But I want to kind of like help people in the same way and build their own wealth and understanding, because like I don't think there's enough people that are successful or getting successful from the bottom that are really like out there helping people.
Simply guide them to water.
Guide them to their own water source, because that's a thing, like you can, trail them to the answers, but they're not really, if they don't apply them.
I just personally like the fact of you being able to overcome challenges, and I think for most people, before the money, I think evaluating themselves. And if there was one thing you could give anyone from your life lessons, one thing, what would it be?
Take criticism all the time. Critical, all the time. Even when you don't even like it, it's just like, but learn from it, like even in relationships, sometimes you don't want to hear things about how terrible you are in a relationship.
What if they're soft? What if they can't take it?
Yeah, then, just like, it's like dough, you eventually got to just like break it in, and just eventually when you get that dough to a good point, you're just going to have to bake it in the pain, like that's what the heat of the game, like all that heat you're going to feel.
Bake the dough.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to, create something for yourself that's gonna like drive you. That energy, that friction.
This is what I tell my clients. It's like you gotta warm up the clay. They're like, oh, I don't see a difference. 2 weeks. 2 weeks in, they want to see a difference. Like, dude, you just spent 10 years on your ass, and you want to change that in 2 weeks?
People don't have the patience.
No, but I give them this metaphor.
They don't. They want to be successful like this. They want to be in shape like this.
Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping.
Yeah.
They want it for everything, though.
Oh, yeah.
I want my abs, 2 days. Oh, I want that girlfriend, 2 days.
But just like with everything, it has a threshold, like a boiling point and a freezing point. Humans have a threshold. When you reach that threshold, things start to change. It's like you warm up the clay, you hit the threshold, you can start
but don't give into it. That's the thing. Like that's, yeah. So
you got to keep warming it up, keep the ball rolling, keep going. You're starting a business, you're going to fail, but fail forward. Fail, learn, keep going. Fail, learn, keep going.
Exactly.
Well, where can people find you?
You can find me on estol89@gmail.com. Send me an email, any questions that you need help with, or you can give me a call, 716-491-7710. Yeah, I'm from Buffalo, New York, so go Bills. Just got Josh Allen on the Madden cover, so.
Nice.
That's actually amazing that you went through all of this throughout your life, and now you want to help others that are possibly in the same situation or in some kind of financial dire situation, and they need to get out of that. So now you're doing that to help them, to help others. That's really amazing. I always love hearing about people who struggled, and they don't want to just help themselves. They want to help other people who are struggling. That takes a certain type of person.
Why wait till the end of your life to do that? We're here right now today. Only today matters. Be present. Be present.
Yeah.
So many people are assholes every single day. Why not be the wolf and not the sheep? Thank you so much, Erik, for coming, taking the time. I really appreciate it. I think you have an amazing story that people would have so many takeaways from. And thank you, Sherry, for hosting. And hope we have another one.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.